Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Get the like button here. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the Football Terrace community. Welcome to everybody from That's Football that has joined us here as well. We're going to open up the lines tonight to let you come on and have your say. But Chelsea 2, LAFC 2 in Chelsea's first game at the Club World Cup. Obviously going to break the game down, talk about the star players, the debut from Didnt as well. And he did shine and he did stand out. And you can see that bit between his teeth. We're also going to have another conversation about the tournament. Is it working? Is it selling it to you? Are you enjoying it? And this is no disrespect to any of the teams that are in it. Those two conversations are absolutely separate in that regard. But look, I want to start off by talking Chelsea, and I know what a lot of people are going to say. Oh, LAFC had a lot of chances to score, and they did. LAFC were in the game. LAFC had opportunities. LAFC gave a decent account of themselves. They defended for large parts well in a low block. They were able to stop a lot of the shots. They got a lot of blocks in, a lot of last-ditch defending. And they had some really good counterattacks. They got good athleticism. They got beyond the fullbacks a couple of times. And in the second half especially, they probably should have scored. The issue here for Chelsea, and I want to say this with the absolute utmost respect to LAFC, Chelsea were playing within themselves. And I know that FIFA will tell you it's the biggest competition in the world. Chelsea want to win this tournament. That's why they pushed for Didnt, why they were pushing for other players. But it's 110%. They were playing within themselves. They know their levels in comparison. And you could see that there was sometimes just an element of lethargicness, maybe a lack of commitment at times from Chelsea, maybe not always taking the game too seriously. But when they turned it on, they outclassed LAFC. They were just too good for them. Some of the defensive mishaps, they're going to want to address. They're going to want to look at. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But by and large, Chelsea deserved this win. Individually, I thought, barring one mistake in the second half, I thought it was another excellent game for Caicedo in the middle. Just dominance, brilliant, wonderful on the ball. There was a bit of defensive play from him actually in the second half. Not where he won the ball back and almost injured himself from a corner. It was a good cross in. I think it was from a corner, maybe just from a cross. And the ball gets cleared and it goes up in the air. And he can't win the ball. But as the LAFC player goes up for it, he just leans into him enough just to nudge him off balance so he can't win the header. Chelsea win the possession back. And it's just his intelligence. He's reading of the game. He's understanding his know-how. All these things are just so important to a defender, a defensive-minded player in that way. I felt Neto, look, the goal in itself was brilliant. The Cruyff turn, sitting his man down, burying it into the bottom corner was great. But a constant threat down that right-hand side, the bit between his teeth, wants to take this tournament by storm. Thought he was excellent. I felt Palmer today, I thought it was wasteful with his chances. A lot of shots into players' legs. The chance when he could have scored and it went over. There were some moments in the game where you think, oh, you know, he could have done a little bit better there. He could have been a little bit more decisive with the ball. But he was a constant threat. And we speak about this a lot on the Football Terrace. And, okay, if a player isn't scoring or assisting, what else do they do? And he was very, very good in that regard today. Very dangerous. Wanted the ball at the bit between his teeth. And although he didn't have that end product, so some will say horrible, a constant threat in this game. Still slightly concerned about his output. I'm not going to lie. I'm still slightly worried that it's getting to him, that the output in the last 3 to 4 months was nowhere near it was per game in these first 18 months at Chelsea. But there is no lack of desire, no lack of work rate. And I think he'll come, there's no doubt. I want to talk to 2 players that came on. First of all, Enzo Fernandez, another fantastic, it was a little bit of a cameo appearance today, but another fantastic display when he came on. The goal the touch, the finish, but it was the box breaking element. And we saw that goal. I want to say that goal came against Newcastle. It may have been a different game, and I'm forgetting now towards the end of the season. Now, he scored a screamer against Newcastle. There's another game near the end of the season that he scored like that. It might have even been in the Conference League. And he's just becoming so good at the box crushing, arriving late. There is such a Lampard-esque nature, and maybe it's because of the Chelsea shirt as well, in him doing that. Fantastic. And I want to touch on Didnt. And again, you will have haters that will say, oh, I saw a bad touch. He tried to take 2 men on, he got crowded out. Or we made a mistake there. Yeah, he will, but that will happen in every game. R9 did that most games. Messi had bad touches in games, believe it or not. I'm not overanalyzing him. He came on, and you could just see a different level between him and Nico Jackson. There was a great bit of skill on the right-hand side. He beat a man. He goes through on goal. And his decision-making. A lot of players would have tried to score from a really acute angle. And because it was 1-0, we wanted to give Chelsea the best opportunity to go 2-0 up rather than grab a debut goal. Squares it to Enzo Fernandez, who was box-crushing. Well defended by LAFC. The goal in itself, already showing an appetite to drift wide, go into the channels. It doesn't need to be selfish to get all the goals. A wonderful cross to set up that Enzo goal. And again, it's LAFC. There's going to be many more tests, many more greater teams for him to play. But you could just see something there. There was, again, the bit between his teeth. There was a determination. He is the guy. He's the number 9. He's going to have the opportunity to lead the line for Chelsea Football Club moving forward. And I thought that it was a really... So I'm still getting over this laryngitis, so I'm just drinking some hot fluid for my throat. I think he's going to take Chelsea by storm. Just a gut feeling right now. Could be wrong, but I thought his appearance was very, very good indeed. And you're right here. He should start the next match. I would definitely do it. Nico Jackson assist, though. Look, Nico Jackson's a good player. I just think that Didnt's going to be a level above him. Just going to be a level above him as well. And there we go. Didnt has football IQ, which is amazing. The problem is with Didnt is that he got pigeonholed because of his nationality. Oh, you know, his dad and his dad's Rory Didnt. He's English. It's all P and power and blood, sweat and tears. There's intelligence there. There's a very good player. You just didn't see it as much. You just didn't see it as much at Ipswich as you will watching him play in a Chelsea side. There's a very, very talented guy indeed there. There really, really is. There really is. Didnt used his body well and made a decent cross. Yeah, very good start. Good use of his body. Excellent positioning. And I want to see more of it. I want to see more of it. One, because I feel like he's a player that I wanted United to get. So I want to see if my views on him come true. But he's also English. So from my perspective, look, Harry Kane isn't getting any younger. It'd be nice to have an English striker develop and play at the highest level in the Premier League, because that's only going to help my nation. So, yeah, very, very important for us indeed. Neto is what Harmon says here. Didnt looks like a born striker, unlike Jackson. I didn't even know Didnt can cross like that. Fairs. People just didn't watch him enough last year. So much more to his game than just getting his head down and running. Jackson's head is going to fall. Going to the beach, is what J-Law says here. Didnt's got high IQ and looks like a born striker. I literally didn't know he could cross the ball. Maybe it was just because he played for Ipswich. Makes sense why he's showing more ability for Chelsea. Max in here says Didnt assist. Yeah, he doesn't. Do you know what's really good about that assist as well? It gets rid of any talk of 007 nonsense because it's a competitive game. So it's not a friendly, it's a real assist. DJ here says, big up Terry for that chat. Palmer, Didnt combination, that does look scary. Yeah, look, and I think there's more to come from Palmer. I thought his approach play was good. It's that final ball typically, and his shooting that was off. But you know, how do I say this in the right way? I almost feel like he's trying too hard. So if you ever watch boxing, you'll see UFC is the same. Somebody's reaching a little bit too much for a punch. If they're overextending or if they're telegraphing their punch or their kick, You know, if they're worse starting to, if they're showing their tails too much, they're overextending. If they're trying from too far out to, you know, to take a man down and grapple and whatever it may be, shooting for them, you notice it. And I see similar here with Palmer. I see someone who's trying too hard almost to score, trying too hard to get that assist. Where you saw in the Europa League final, once he got one and then relaxed, just next level. And I still think it's in his head a little bit that he's got to deliver. And he does, but I think the more he relaxes, the better he'll play. Said the lap is quality, but championship. Yeah, listen, a lot will say Terry, they'll say Josh, they'll say it's, you know, it's LAFC, it's early stages, there's still a long way for him to go. And there is truth to that. But I think there's a player in there. I think there is a real player in there. I thought that since the first time I saw him play in the Prem. Just something about him. And it's one of those things, you don't always need to be the highest goal scorer to be a player that could be prolific and dangerous for a team. You sometimes need to look beyond just the stats. Delap impressed me. Pace, power, football IQ. Wow, is what man like D has got to say here. Big up yourself, D. And thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Let's get them likes up, though, people. Let's get those likes a lot higher. We're going to share the link now, people, for you to phone in and have your say. I'm going to put the link into the live chat, and I'm going to pin it so you guys can see it and come on and have your say with us on air this evening. We're going to be speaking to Andrew Barnes in a moment, who's a big Chelsea fan, regular contributor on the Football Terrace. Thank you, Luke, for sharing all the emojis that our members have as well. Nick Hunter here says, excellent performance to start. Enzo is starting to consistently score goals, Lampard like Lampard used to. Excited to see players like Delap, Santos, and yes, him. How do you pronounce that? Is that Esugo? Esugo? Is that how you pronounce it? Oh, I've never even heard of him until I see him come on. Genuinely, never heard of the guy. And I mean that with respect. I was just like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen him play football before. But fair play. There he is. Coming on. Playing it. Esugo. Is it Esugo? Is that how you would pronounce it? Okay, cool. It's LAFC, not an EPL team. Oh, which is exactly why I said there's a long way for him to go. That was very clearly stated, well put across, easy for you, be cool to digest and sit there and be cool with. You know, you heard me say it. No one sat here and said, greatest debut performance in the history of football. Come on now. Calm down. Oh, he's the sporting player. Right. I get it. He's a sporting player. There we go. I now know who the guy is. That's why I hadn't heard of him before. But I do remember the tweets. I've never been here before, but it's really sentimental. My younger brother played for Chelsea. I'm 63. Well, listen, great to hear that. Happy that you're here. Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate it, Lex. Appreciate that a lot. The same people reminding us it's an MLS team will big up Bayern for beating an amateur team 10-0. I think it's one of those things you can see, you buy a player sometimes, you watch them on preseason in Far East or America, and you go, you can see a player in there. Equally, if he comes on against an MLS team and he doesn't look a different level, that'd probably worry you, right? And this is the issue. You can't ever do this in football. And I understand, and you know, the Football Terrace gets a lot of hate for this. I just don't push. I know you're my rivals, Chelsea, but I just don't push unnecessary agendas. I'm too grown, too mature to do that. I might do it for a little bit of a laugh when the panel's on, have a little bit of a joke here and there, but that's why it always gets on my nerves when DJ and the guys call me out. Because I'm so fair, but, you know, it is what it is. Delap is what CAA Mafia says here. So I was reading some of your comments that are coming through. This here says, Terry, what do you think about the stadiums being half empty? Look, it's not a good look. I mean, I was doing a watch along on That's Football, so I couldn't really hear the crowd, but I'm sure it took something away from it. It's one of the reasons why I don't. I like doing a watch along, but the one thing you don't get when you're doing a watch along is the atmosphere coming from the crowd. But there wouldn't have been much of an atmosphere tonight. The ground was empty. There's a lot of teething problems with the tournament in terms of organization, location, the amount of fans that are there, the atmosphere at these games. That will impact people watching it on television because it won't feel like a competitive football match. And I know that people have taken offense by what I've said, but it's the truth. There's one, it won't feel like a competitive game. And two, the noise that general football fans make, if you're not getting that same noise, it won't feel the same. It just won't feel the same. We all watched the sports when lockdown was on. And no matter how much they tried, they never felt like I remember watching the boxing, and it was in the back of Eddie Hearn's back garden, and it was really good fights. But it didn't feel like a real boxing event because there was no crowd, and you need that. I feel a bit sorry as well. I mean, you've got LAFC playing, who have been made to fly 4 or 5 hours from where they're from where their fans are. The game's on at sort of 3 p.m. Western time. Even earlier in the morning in Eastern time, it's around what in America, it's like 3 p.m. The game starts. It's in the morning in LA. So one, it's whatever you do, it's in the daytime. So people are at work, kids are at school, and they've taken it well away from like Los Angeles. You play that game in Los Angeles, the crowd's full. There's an atmosphere. It might make LFC play a little better. Maybe they don't want to give them that home advantage, but that's the nature of the tournament being in your country, right? Like when the Euros were in England a few years back, we had a home advantage. You know, Germany had a home advantage last year. I mean, these things just happen. I just think they have to look at that. Essentially, you're making LAFC an away team in their own country. And those fans are diehard because they go every week. So you want those real football fans at the game, and you maybe don't want to rely on tourists to, this is being played here, we'll go watch it, kids. It's nice that people are doing that, but you won't have the atmosphere. The atmosphere is going to be a big seller to people watching on TV. It's because of the time most people are at work. Now listen, Kenny, I get it, but it's not just about if they're at work. It's can you get the diehard real fans of these clubs to these games? So again, LAFC, I'm not saying because you're American you're not a real fan. LAFC have real fans that go to games week in, week out, that know how to make the atmosphere right. So we, the viewers, enjoy it more. You can have the crowd full, but if it sounds like a charity game or a touristy match or soccer raid, it doesn't feel the same. Does that make sense? You have to get the atmosphere right in football. It's such all sport. The atmosphere that is created by the crowd is so essential. No matter what sports you like, think about all those great moments. Imagine that Maguire winner against Lyon with no crowd or half a crowd. It wouldn't have felt the same. It wouldn't. Never does. Listen, we're going to bring on some calls now. We're going to have Andrew Barnes come on first with us to have his say on the show. So we've got earphones on here. Andrew, welcome back to the Terrace, mate. What's your thoughts tonight on Chelsea's opening game at the Club World Cup?
First of all, good evening, Terry. Good night, like whatever time it is for you. I think it's 10:30, probably 10:20 for you.
About 10:20 p.m., yeah.
Yeah. So for me, firstly, I'm happy that Chelsea won. Always happy that Chelsea wins. I agree with what you said that they did play within themselves, but this sometimes is frustrating about this Chelsea team is that, and I think Enzo Maresca said it in his press conference. He said one of the difficulties that he found during the Conference League is to motivate the players to tell them that the opposite team that they're playing is a tough team, so that they are that they're motivated to play better than what they're imagining. So like this has been a problem with this team for some time now. One thing that he said in his press conference that I did not like is that when they asked him if he was confident in beating this LAFC, he said, "We're never confident." I don't know if it was because of his the gap between his English and Italian and Spanish, but he said, "I don't know if it's a good thing, but we are not confident because we take every team as a good team." So I think that this communication needs to become better from him. I hope it's not going to the same way to his players. The point that you mentioned about Palmer, I think that yeah, he is. It feels like he's trying too hard. That shot that he took that went like way off target. That's not like him. He's normally doing those like really finessed shots. He doesn't do those power shots. But he's really like I don't know. He was not able to like even his touches were not the best. But yeah, he was always in the game trying to do something. But Neto really had a good game today. He like ran around like crazy, even though the temperatures are different from England and the US. He really ran around, and it's nice to see. I think one of your super chat said it, and I was thinking the same thing. It's nice to see uh, Enzo Fernandez like play that Lampard role where he's crashing the box more, and we saw it in the last 6 months. Like that
Yeah.
role has become something of his, and that goal was. In fact, I like both the goals. Both the goals were like really like well constructed and even well taken goals. With Neto like really keeping his composure, sitting the defender down, finishing in the near post, and I know everybody's talking about Leon Delap's debut, and because it's LAFC, it doesn't matter which team we're playing. The thing that I saw about him in that pass, just that small passage of play, is that he looked up. It was not like some blind cutback to hope, like like just cut back and hope
Yeah.
somebody's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
He looked up, and that's the football intelligence you need. With Jackson, those things were missing. Jackson was always doing some eccentric things. I think against England with Senegal, he made a pass, Jackson, that I think Senegal like equalized. That was hit and hope. Like he was trying to clear the ball back into the box. But this was like he looked up, he had control, and that's what's nice to see that Dilap has this like he has this frame. He knows how to like like hold the defenders off. It feels like a Diego Costa kind of signing, and I'm really like hoping that it's going to come into fruition, and he's going to break that curse for of that number 9. But otherwise, I think the game was really good. I know that it's the first game, so I'm going to take the 2-0. I'm happy with the clean sheet. They had a lot of chances. LAFC towards I think after the
Mm.
65th minute, they had a lot of chances, but there was a lapse in defense. I think there was a lapse in concentration, and yeah, you can expect that like with the change in conditions and all of that. But I
I,
hope that this is
yeah.
a lesson.
I,
And
yeah. Listen, Andrew, I hear you, mate. I appreciate you coming on. That's late where you are, my friend. So I appreciate you jumping on. And we'll chat again soon, my friend. Cheers,
see you
Andrew.
then.
Top
Take
man.
care.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm also going to get Raj on next because it's 3 a.m. in the morning for these guys. And I'm going to come to Little Back Book and Elijah as well. But Raj, what are you here to say, my friend?
Oh my God. Hi, Terry. How are
Hi,
you?
mate. I'm very good, my friend. I'm very good. Appreciate you phoning in.
I've been watching you for so many years, man. I'm so sorry. I never
I
expected.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
my friend. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
I'm, yeah. So I would like to say today, Chelsea, even though I would like to feel they were tired, like I'd like to think they were tired and exhausted because
Yeah.
they've really put up a difficult and a tiring campaign and getting top four and most of the people I see on the panel, they never gave any Chelsea much chance. You know. So yeah, it was amazing, and also LAFC. I've got to give them their props. They were really good. So I did not expect such a fight, even though they were like 4-3-3, the low block and all. And I'm happy to see Chelsea basically starting to, break low blocks,
Yeah.
trying to get through them. Yeah, especially Pedro Neto. I think he is on a vengeance campaign this year. People have actually taken him really lightly. I, I'd say, yeah, because of his performance last year. And Asugo, I'm interested in Asugo as well. The way he took the ball and he
Yeah.
went almost to the D box. Uh, I'd say, yeah, he's going to be really a relief for Caicedo and Lavia. We all know Lavia is not going to be, playing all the games, right? So,
Yeah, of course. Having those backups is important. As you say, a good first result, positive performance. And I think I'm going to be intrigued to see Chelsea as the competition improves moving forward. But, clean sheet, 2 goals, comfortable start. Raj, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Thank you very much, my friend. And we'll speak to you again soon. Top man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Little Black Book is on with us now. Hello, mate. How are you?
What's good, Terry? You're right, yeah?
I'm very well, my friend. Let everybody know who you support and what you're here to say.
I'm a Chelsea boy. I can't lie to you through and through. You know what I mean? So shout out to you as well. I love your platform, bro. And I love the work you've been doing as well.
Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you.
No worries, man. No, man, look, I have to say quickly, the brother just kind of said it before me. I love Roy Delap. I love watching him play. For me, because I think he encompasses what Chelsea really need. A little bit of aggression, direct, dribbles, not afraid to go at a defender, not afraid to run off the ball, make the right kind of run. I think this game highlighted, I think, what he can do for Chelsea. And I think him wearing the number 9 is fitting. Because if you look at the number 9 previously, they usually have a kind of, the ones that don't make it, usually have a certain type of build. Like if I see Jackson, if he was a number 9, I'll be scared because he going fall to that curse, right? We need someone who's going to be a little bit more bullish. I think the key thing we have to wait to see is if he can do it for Chelsea, is whether he can take half chances, number 1. Number 2, can he create his own chances as well, right? I think that's what separates the strikers that are good from the ones that are really, top notch. And I think just watching him, the way that he played today, a little bit bullish in there a little bit as well. Just make sure he's in his strength, and I love that. I think for us as Chelsea, I think the next thing going forward, I love the game as well. I think for me personally, I don't mind. As long as you win the game and you're able to manage the game, I'm always gonna be happy. Now we've got a group of young boys. That's not an excuse, but what I would say is I think they need 1 or 2 experienced players. It is the cool heads that need to prevail. At times when you're young, you are inconsistent. And so I think 1 or 2 just decent older players who can just kind of captain the side through. Right now, I love Reece James. I think he's amazing. And I think he's inspirational in terms of like being a quiet leader. I have no problem with that. I just think we need 1 or 2 players who can just take the shoulder and be like, yo, we're with you. We are supporting you. And we're going to help navigate this team through it. And I think the last point I want to make, so I don't want to talk too long, is that for this particular team, the hardest thing I think for Chelsea they've had for the last few years, playing football myself, the hardest thing you ever have, I play midfield. When you have a striker who doesn't score all the time, right? And I'm talking about easy chances. That's what Jackson does. He causes more pressure on the defense because he doesn't score those goals. So what ends up happening is that when you're a defender and you're watching someone like Jackson, you're like, go on, shoot then. I don't mind if you shoot. Because if you shoot, we know you're probably going to miss, right? And that allows a defender not to feel afraid. Like if I'm facing Thierry Henry, I know give him 1 chance. If I give Van Nistelrooy, give him 1 chance, give him an inch, he gonna score. And I think that we're lacking that with Jackson. So I wanted to see what's gonna happen with the lap. If he can be that kind of striker that can bang, get 1 shot, get half a chance, bang it, isn't a goal, I think it will be amazing. But great game today.
Yeah, look, I think the lap's got something about him, and yep, the opposition isn't the highest level, but then I expect to see someone stand out, and I felt he did in that short cameo that he got. I was hoping he was going to get longer. There's some tougher games to come in this tournament for him, but I've said it all along. I wanted United to get him. I think there's a star in there, and I think there's a few strikers in Europe. The lap being one, Šeško is another, where it's so ironic because the majority of the people that are saying don't want him, haven't scored enough goals, are the same people where when you say Bruno's top class, look at the numbers, that go, don't just look at stats. You actually start dissecting. You start dissecting the people that say that. There's a massive crossover, and I sit there and go, okay, so the stats of the lap and the stats of Šeško matter, but Bruno's don't. When I watched the lap play, I saw an individual that would put balls into dangerous areas, would find space, but the ball wouldn't come to him. Why? Because he was playing in a team that lacked the quality to either finish the chances that he helped create or didn't get the ball to him in dangerous positions. And like that cross that he puts in, if he puts that cross in and nobody box crushes, that cross would have been considered a loss of possession. Yeah. And someone would look at the stats and go, look, you made 4 crosses today, none of them complete. He's crap. Well, that's because you're not watching football. You're reading statistics. You've got to do those 2 things at the same time with a player like the lap. And for me, I think you guys have bought a potential superstar. I really do think he's a potential superstar.
Question for you, though. I know it's Chelsea Live, but who would you want to take over your striker position right now? Because I know obviously the Gyökeres thing was happening. It's a bit mad. I know I saw the lives. It's fresher.
Bruv, I
but-
watched Tevez score a hat trick last night in Soccer Aid.
Bro!
I'd take he's definitely. I looked at. He looked slim as ever. Look, I reckon he's on them fat jabs, though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's losing weight like you wouldn't believe. Because I know you do like social commentary and stuff, right? Relationship talks. There's a lot of people on them fat jabs at the minute to help their relationships, and maybe that's why he's doing it. I'm telling you. But like for me, it's one of them things where I want Gyökeres. I like Šeško. I like Ekatike. I like Mateta. I'm really open-minded. A lot of United fans are very specific at the minute. I want this guy. I actually think there's quite a good amount of talent to help raise our floor at United. I see the Mateta is a good option because he's got that prem-proven nature, excellent age, experience, availability. But then I do like the look of the Ekatikes and the Šeškos because I think what they can become in the future. So yeah, I like them all. But again, the lap. I thought for £30 million, I think that's going to go down as one. I think it's going to go down as one of the best signings you guys have made in many a year. I really do.
I wasn't a fan of Ekatike. I can't lie to you, but because I feel like he has a matching range with Jackson. They run with the ball, and he's a bit more smoother dribbler. But if I'm looking at something, I want someone to be a proven lethal finisher.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I do. I hear you. I sometimes I'm not sure if he'll become that, which is true. But it always matters about the makeup of your team. And I think within Burmos and Brunos and Cunhas, you might be able to get away with that. Terry, would I take João Felix at United? No, because he's worse than what we got, mate. I wouldn't. No, you couldn't pay us to take him. And that's no disrespect.
5 million?
Honestly, I'd rather keep Højlund.
Wait, okay, wait. What system does Man United need to start playing? Because I think it's a system issue. I don't think the players. They're bad. Some of them are bad, but I really do feel like it's a system issue and a confidence issue for the Man United. Honestly,
I see it the other side, but similarities. It's a confidence issue, but it's because we don't have the players that can play the system. And United have done. I get why someone who's not a United fan may see it that way. My issue is at my club is that we haven't addressed. We keep adapting to what we've got instead of buying what we need. So we'll say we haven't got enough players to make the system work, so let's just change the system to accommodate the players, and we do that for 18 months and then we go in a new direction and it's messy. I think what we have to do is go, this is the system. Okay, these 15 players don't work. Over 2 windows, you buy players that do and see where we go. So I would rather do it that way around because it's the complete opposite to how we've operated, and we've obviously got worse over a decade. So I'd like to do it the other way around. But I hear you. Listen, bro, please phone back in again. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on that. And I just got to follow your channel as well. Go check out it with a little black book. Great channel. Go and subscribe to that now, people. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Top man. Thank you. Elijah, what are you here to say, my friend?
Yeah, big up, Terry. In today's game, I'm happy for the win. But I feel like we are lucky because LAFC had so many chances to score. But I have to say, Robert Sanchez made some big saves, didn't have anything much to do, and also kept a clean sheet. So we were very lucky. But listen, we've won. And Lim Delap, I was impressed by him because the fact that he got an assist on his debut was really, really good. He's crossing into Enzo Fernandez was superb because he knew that Enzo Fernandez was inside the box. And what I love about Enzo Fernandez is that when it comes to making ones and getting to the positions, he gets there on time. And the same thing is the Conference League final. When Palmer makes a cross, Enzo Fernandez is there and he puts it in. And the same thing goes for today. So I'm really impressed by Lim Delap. Now, I know it's LAFC and I know that it's not like a Bayern Munich or Real Madrid game, but listen, if we signed you, so all you have to do is just make an impact, and that's what Lim Delap did, and he was really good, and I just hope that Lim Delap can continue like this because I feel like he's not the player that we want. He's a good player, but I still don't think that it's enough for us to take us to the next level. But today I'm impressed by him, and Nicholas Jackson. In the first half was really good as well. Like the pass into Neto was superb, and Pedro Neto for me was the man of the match because He scored a goal, but only that he looked a threat, and you know, and if you and that chance in the 92nd minute, if that would have went in, that would have been a brilliant goal. But it was unlucky that he hit the crossbar. But yeah, Palmer, I thought he did all right, but like you said, Terry, his shooting wasn't particularly that great. And I just saw a stat that says he's only scored 1 goal in 23 matches, which is not particularly that great. I still think Palmer is a good player, but I feel like he just really needs to concentrate now, because I need to see the Palmer from 2 seasons ago, if you know what I mean. But I have no doubt that Palmer will do good, but he just needs to really step up. Really needs to step up. And I have to say this as well, Terry. Gusto, when he came on the pitch, he looked absolutely awful. Like,
yeah, you are right. You are right about that. Yeah, he did. I thought there was that moment where I think you were 2-0 up. The ball got knocked. He got caught under the ball. It's weird as well, because he looks so good when he arrived. He just looks the last 3 or 4 months he looks a little dodgy.
Yeah, and can I tell you why, Terry? Is that Enzo Maresca keeps putting Gusto inverting, and for me it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, like Malo Gusto inverted role needs to end, because when it comes to defending, this guy is not good enough. He really isn't good enough. When it comes to his he can cross and he's a good player, but whenever I see him you know, overlap and inverting, it just makes it worse. So for me, it just makes no sense. But Caicedo, just always doing Caicedo, look really good. Enzo looked good. I thought defensively today we looked good. Both Colwell and Tostin defensively have been superb. Reece James as well looked good. Robert Sanchez, I mean, he had a few shaky moments, but he kept a clean sheet, made some big saves. So I cannot really go at him that much. But listen, we've won. We kept a clean sheet, and we move on into the next game. And I know people are saying that this is a MLS team, and you know, you haven't faced Bayern and PSG yet, and I do get that. But as long as you win the game, that's all that matters. So I'm happy for the win, and let's see what we do against Flamingo this Friday. So yeah.
There we go. Listen, Elijah, thank you for calling in, mate. I appreciate it a lot. Top man. Speak soon, brother. Thank you. Yeah. I want to thank every single person who's tuned in tonight. This video is going to redirect you to my show tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. with Mark Goldbridge, Hot Takes, where we're going to cover the World Club Cup. We'll be talking transfers and City fans suing their own football club. Want to hear from you all on that. So 11 a.m. UK time. Would love to see you all back here on the Football Terrace. Until then, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.